Department of Agriculture, Hawaii. Hi, Millicent.
Aloha.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, aloha. So we're here in front of the Department of Agriculture, and we are protesting them fast forwarding the release of mosquitoes injected with the Wolbachia Bacterium, where it makes male mosquitoes incompatible with the female mosquitoes. Now, this may sound like a really great idea, but they have actually exempted themselves from any the DLNR, Susan Case, chairperson, has exempted themselves from any environmental assessment, which is the minimum of what they should be doing against against a mosquito, an insect that carries deadly diseases for human beings.
With no peer-reviewed long-term safety data, no short-term safety data.
And in fact, if a female gets out, and the females bite and the males don't bite, but if a female gets out, they actually have no protocol of what to do. 3 females got out in this experiment in Singapore, and they had to irradiate them immediately, all of them. But there's no protocol here on the Big Island, or actually in the state of Hawaii, to do anything if a female gets out. So what they're doing is actually putting people's lives at risk, putting our keiki and the future of our keiki at risk with no concern at all. When they exempt themselves from any environmental study, that is when people need to stand up and say, no, we don't agree with that.
And we have to come to the real terms with the fact that we are the world's capital of endangered species. And that means that you don't want to gamble with any of these pristine environments. You do not, if your reason is to protect the indigenous birds, then you have to take care of the birds first and get to the root cause of why the birds are endangered. And one of the main reasons is because another failed experiment of many, along a illustrious list, mongoose came to eat the rats, and of course ate all of the eggs from the birds. So,
and that's why they're doing the mosquitoes, because of the mosquitoes are giving the birds a certain disease, and so they're saying birds, not mosquitoes. But the thing is, then do environmental studies. And they're saying, we don't have time, we got to save the birds. What if these same mosquitoes actually make these birds go extinct? They don't even know that's not going to happen.
They can't prove anything, and if this is not a scientific process.
They should go after the mites.
They should go after a lot of things,
a lot more things.
like not bringing invasive species to the capital.
The mites hurt the birds,
Take a
not
look
the
at the
mosquitoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
The mites are on the mosquito.
Yeah. Well, also we've got to, think about, well, what all this money, it's a temporary thing. We have to keep making these mosquitoes and releasing them and making more in the lab.
This isn't even a permanent solution.
It's giving opportunities for contamination of other contaminants all along the way, in every release, in every experiment. It's wacko bananas, people, and
yes.
So we have to step forward at this time
And say no.
We are the ones who need to be in charge of this environment, because we're concerned.
Because people like the DLNR and the Department of Agriculture do not care about the people. If they cared about the people, they would be doing a full impact environmental study. But they have actually exempted themselves from the most minimum that they should be doing, which is an environmental assessment. They have exempted themselves from just that. That's not okay. That's not okay.
And it's very similar to, you have to understand that these are needles. These are flying needles. So when you're dealing with any experiment without peer-reviewed, primary source data, and you're just on a wing and a prayer, a shot in the dark, you are personally liable if you want to experiment. And if you want to experiment with drugs, go for it. I am nobody's judge. But when you cross the line and start experimenting on children, you got another thing coming. And we're at saturation point here with contamination and invasive species. But we're also at saturation point with unnecessary, dangerous experimentation, human experimentation without consent, without informed consent.
So without testing, we're done. We're a POW.
Aloha.
Aloha.